You are looking at images, video from a 25-week ultrasound. That's what a baby looks like inside the womb. A baby that in Canada, in the United States, is legal to abort. Today is the anniversary of the Roe v. Wade decision, and it is the March for Life in Washington. The White House issued this statement on the Roe v. Wade decision. We reaffirm our steadfast commitment to protecting a woman's access to safe, affordable health care and her constitutional right to privacy, including the right to reproductive freedom. Let's strip away the euphemisms. What they're saying is they support killing a baby. That's what that baby in the womb is right there. Alyssa Golub is a Canadian. You've seen her on the show many times. She is in Washington right now, though, for the March for Life. A bit bigger in Washington than in Canada, but I understand quite cold today.
Yeah, pretty cold, but we still joked with the Americans that it was like summer compared to what it's like in Canada. But it was pretty cold.
You're giving them a bad image of what Canada is really all about. A stunning statistic coming out,
makes us look tougher.
A stunning statistic coming out, and that is that since Roe v. Wade came about, 55 million with an M babies have died through abortion since that decision. I'm guessing that was one that was talked about quite extensively during this march, where the theme was adoption. Essentially, the march was saying there were other options.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think that Americans, the sentiment that I got here was that they're more positive than negative. I mean, they've instituted more pro-life pieces of legislation across the nation than in any other years. Abortion clinics and Planned Parenthood clinics are closing left, right, and center. They're down by, I think they said 70% than what they were in previous years. So they're really focusing on the positive and moving forward. And people are even talking about how the pro-life movement will proceed after overturning Roe versus Wade.
Now, you mentioned a lot of pieces of legislation. These tend to be at the state level. This is not an attempt to say, let's ban all abortion. Americans, like Canadians, are mixed on that issue. But things that we don't have in this country that people aren't even talking about quite often, like parental notification laws.
Parental notification, ultrasound laws, women's right to know, where a woman must know all the ramifications about abortion, whether it be psychologically or mentally. There are heartbeat bills. There are even bills, restricting abortion up to 9 weeks in North Dakota. Texas was in the news this past year for their late-term abortion ban, or hoping to achieve that, and not to mention all the defunding bills. They're constantly defunding Planned Parenthoods across America. They're closing, and which means that their numbers are drastically decreasing. Right. So I think that there's a lot of positive things happening right now.
I want to read off a couple of statements, and then we'll continue the conversation. Pope Francis tweeted out, he said, I join the March for Life in Washington with my prayers. May God help us respect all life, especially the most vulnerable. Eric Cantor, he is, I think, majority leader in the House. He put out a statement as well in support, very different than what President Obama had. The theme of adoption, how important is it for that message? Maybe it's a message that I'm not hearing often enough. I know that there are thousands and thousands of Canadian families that want to adopt, but that option isn't talked about in connection with abortion in today's day and age.
Yeah, I think that there's a certain stigma attached to adoption that, why would you want to put a child through the foster system? But, decapitating, dismembering, and disemboweling a child is a good alternative. But I think that I think they really wanted to focus on adoption. One of the guest speakers, the main speakers at tonight's Rose Dinner, is Ryan Baumberger, who is a pro-life advocate here, very popular, and he was adopted at a young age. So I think that they really wanted to focus on the positive messaging, on alternatives to abortion, to create a widespread message throughout America.
It is part of building that culture of life, is having that discussion and saying there are alternatives, including keeping your own baby. And even President Obama's own story is one that lends itself to a pro-life message. He was born to a single mother. His father had already left. His mother easily could have turned and said that she wanted to go for an abortion. Instead, she kept him. He did not grow up in the best of circumstances, but he rose to the most powerful job on the planet. You never know.
Yeah, one of the One of the most famous cheers I heard throughout the march day was, "Obama, Obama, your mama chose life." So they love to throw that back. Yeah.
Well, hopefully one day it will sink through. Until then, we will continue pushing the message and talking about it. Alyssa, thanks for joining us, and thanks for being there, braving the cold. We'll talk soon.
Thank you, Brian.